With so much media hype about the real estate market, we understand it can cause a lot of uncertainty and fear. This video is all about what we actually saw in our local market in 2022, and we'll dig into predictions for 2023. The media is actively publishing crazy headlines designed to scare you and get you to click on them. If you actually read the article behind these headlines, you'll see the information is not as daunting as it appeared. 2022 began with a strong buyer demand that continued to drive home values up. Home buyers were waiving contingencies such as home inspections and were offering escalation clauses and large appraisal gaps to cover their offer prices to win in multiple offer situations. This frenzy through the several months of 2022 created an unrealistic expectation for home sellers. We saw the beginning of steady mortgage interest rate increases in May of 2022 as the government attempted to curb inflation. This was the first of many rate hikes we saw through the second and third quarters of the year. That led to a slowing of activity in our local market as buyers and sellers became fearful of what to expect. Uncertainty and doubt spread quickly as national headlines spoke of market crashes, continued rate increases, and decreasing supplies of goods throughout the nation. The last quarter of 2022, there were a couple of dips in the interest rates to keep us steady around 6.25%. We saw some home price adjustments as home sellers that were still unrealistically pricing their homes saw a decrease in buyer activity and had no choice but to lower their asking price if they wanted to sell. This was the beginning of a more normal housing market in our area. With a continued shortage of housing inventory, homes priced correctly and in good condition sold quickly and even saw multiple offer situations. To conclude, there were many changes to the housing market in 2022, including interest rate increases, buyer and seller fears of the unknown, and a normalization of our Minnesota housing market. Moving forward, experts agree it's still going to be all about inflation. If inflation is high, mortgage rates will be high as well. But if inflation continues to fall, mortgage rates will likely respond. There are still looming questions from consumers like, will the market crash? There just isn't enough inventory on the market for home prices to come crashing down like they did in 2008, even though some overheated markets like California and Arizona may experience slight declines. Another question we're hearing, what's happening with mortgage rates? In an effort to ease inflation, the Federal Reserve is taking steps to try to tame inflation by slowing the economy, and those decisions are having an impact on mortgage rates. And until that's under control, rates will continue to respond to inflation. If inflation eases, rates may as well. This chart shows mortgage rate projections for 2023 by the quarter. We're often asked, what's ahead for home prices? As the housing market cools in response to the dramatic rise in mortgage rates, home appreciation is cooling as well. However, not as drastically in our local market areas as in major cities on the East and West Coast. And if you're following along with the headlines in the media, you're seeing many conflicting messages. This graph shows home price forecasts from the 7 major entities. We're actively keeping an eye on our local market regularly to continue to bring relevant information to you. What we do know is there's still a need for many to buy and sell real estate. High rent prices, job transfers, growing families, empty nesters, divorce, and more. Message us to discuss the right plan for you to make your next move, or if you have questions about the current and future market. Scott and Ann Breuer, Breuer Choice Realty Group, and Keller Williams Classic Realty. Look to us as your local trusted real estate advisors. And thanks for watching.